Greetings, blessings, and good fortune coming to you from KCYP, the city studio here at the Creative Incubator in McAllen. This is the Bitcoin Otter, here to help you out with cryptocurrencies, world news, and anything else that'll help you and your family make it through this craziness that the usual suspects are putting us through. So, glad to see you on today's Thursday. We have a new format. Let me let you know that. So, what we're doing now is we are broadcasting from a couple different sites, so I have my Otter phone free. What does that mean? That means I will be looking at the comments. So hopefully we'll be able to get to the point where I can see the comments that everyone's posting. But we're going to have to test that out because I don't see it on my phone right now. And I don't see the broadcast right now. So that's possible because we're broadcasting via the computer through my account. So I'm just not seeing it. That could be the case. Whatever the case may be, we are here today and I've got some stuff for you. As per usual, we have the gold prices, the silver prices, real estate rates. Well, we could call them real estate rates, but they're mortgage rates, right? What is mortgage? I think I've gone over this before. Mortgage is the combination of mort, which is death in French, and gage, to engage. So when you have a mortgage, you engage in death. Isn't that sweet? Isn't that great what the bankers have done? They've really brought us along, that's for sure. So what is the gold price today? $2,014 for an ounce of gold. You trade $2,014 Federal Reserve notes for 1 ounce of gold. You tell me which is better. Silver, $25.54. Same. And Bitcoin moved down a little bit. All you that would like to get in while it's going down, because that's how you make money when you're investing in things like that. I'm not telling you that I'm an investment advisor in any way, and I'm not telling you that you need to, invest in these things. I'm just saying that this is the way people say when they have that badge that says they're an advisor. This is what they say. But you be your own arbiter of what it is you're going to do. Average mortgage rate. I got these just before the show, so they're pretty fresh here. A 30-year locked-in rate is 6.81% for your mortgage, 30-year. 15-year, 6.13%. And I've got more news coming up on mortgages, and you're not going to like it. Okay. We're going to start out with crypto the way we usually do. All right? And feel free to call. Now, regardless of whether I can see the comments or not, the Otter phone is open. Okay? So you are definitely free to call the Otter. Call me, and we'll have a conversation if you want. So that's going to be 737-256-9339. 737-256-9339. I'll put you live on the air, and you tell me why I'm wrong or why I'm right or what it is you want to talk about, and we'll talk about it. So this is going on the crypto tip right now. So this is from CoinDesk. US SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission is SEC. US SEC warns advisors they need to know crypto before recommending to clients. So this is what I understand from the economic ninja, who is very savvy on economic things, as you would imagine, being a ninja and all. That being said, if you want to be a financial advisor in this world, which I am not, you have to go through the hoops. You have to learn the legal aspects, the regulatory aspects. You probably have to go to some sort of thought camp so that you are able to inculcate the plans of the bankers to your investors. They don't want yahoos like this one, okay, telling you what you can do and can't do with your money. Now, this yahoo doesn't tell you what you can do and what you can't do. I just give you options. I don't advise. I'm not an advisor. I didn't go to the thought camp. And I'm not going. Anyway, this is following also. Same article. When brokers or advisors talk to customers about crypto, the advisors must ensure those they're advising understand the products and whether crypto offerings make sense for clients' specific financial situations. according to the bulletin, which represents the staff's view on existing regulations and isn't a new rule. That gobbledygook, ladies and gents, that gobbledygook right there, telling people that brokers or advisors need to tell customers and ensure that they're advising whether or not these things will be good for them. In addition to that, they want these advisors to know the products. They want these advisors to know cryptocurrencies, which, would be a good assumption. If you were to call me, Bitcoin Otter, and I knew nothing about Bitcoin, what good would I be to you? Not much. But I'm telling you that the SEC is not good to you at all. So it was I believe, a congressional hearing. This guy, Gary Gensler, okay, he's the chairman of the SEC. This guy is wormy. I'm telling you, man, you look at this guy and you just know there's something up with him. He's smarmy. I guess that's the word I want to use. He's smarmy, right? Luke loves that. He loves that expression. So I'm going to try again, see if I can get in here, because I would like to see if I can see the everyone that's coming in on the broadcast. If I can see the broadcast itself. And we're on. Yeah, okay, so I can see it. It's a little bit delayed. So I see Mikey's on and a couple others. So I'm going to look at the comments.
He's smarmy.
Well, I got to turn down the volume. That's for sure. So I'm going to see the comments now, everybody. It's just a delay. So what I'm thinking is you guys are getting the delay also. And it's just so that they could censor us in case we say something truthful. So what I'm going to talk to you about right now is that while the SEC demands that advisors, financial advisors and crypto advisors, know the products inside and out when they're advising customers, the SEC makes rulings on regulations for cryptocurrencies. Okay? So in this hearing, congressional hearing, one of the interviewers, politicians, whatever, asked Mr. Gary Gensler, remember he's the chairman of the SEC, the body of governance that is making rules about crypto. He asked Gary Gensler, have you ever purchased Bitcoin? To which Gary danced and sang like Gary does. But the end result was no. He doesn't know anything about Bitcoin, or claims not to know, because that's, safe for his job. So while this government body, they maintain that if you're going to advise somebody about cryptos, you need to know about cryptos intimately, which I understand. Yet they're creating regulations about cryptos, and they don't know a thing about cryptos, or at least they claim. Why is this? Well, unlike others that are out in the podcast sphere, or maybe even radio, maybe even who knows where, YouTube land, that pose questions and don't give any answers. I'm going to give you the answer. It's because they march to the beat of the bankers, like so many other government bodies. So the SEC, okay, they're basically there to run cover for the corporate cartel of Western central banking, okay? It's not popular for the fake news to hear this. It's not popular for many different entities to understand this, but it is the truth. And I know nowadays the truth is under attack, but I got to tell it to you. I'm not here to tell lies. I'm here to tell you the truth. The SEC basically works for the Western central bankers, not you and I, even though some would think our tax dollars pay their salary. So, and if we have time, I'll go over that. In addition, I'll go over to what your tax dollars really do or don't do based in research that I've done. So, this is from FX Street, okay? And this is good news, genuinely good news. Arkansas passes Legal Tender Act, removes taxes on gold and silver. If you didn't know, constitutionally, the only legal tender in this land is gold and silver. Of course, that was changed because the people who push the Federal Reserve note are not constitutionally based. They don't want anything to do with the Constitution. They don't want anything to do with benefiting you. So, the Constitution, if you do or do not know, have or have not realized, and the Bill of Rights are not a litany, not a list of things that the government must do for you. They are a list of things that it cannot do to you. Try me on this one. Read them in that perspective, from that viewpoint. The Constitution and the Bill of Rights are restrictions on government itself. Remember, the Founding Fathers went through the gamut of abuse from the English government, that tyranny. So when they formulated our documents, our guidelines for just governance in our land, they made sure to make it as impossible as they could for tyranny to grab hold in our country. Now, some would say, many would say it has, Otter. It's grabbed control, and it has a firm grasp at that. So while you may think that, and I for a while did, I believe that we are going to come into a time when that tyrannical hand will not only be forced to lose its grip, but completely come away. And hopefully we will chop it off. That's just the way things need to happen, because you cannot have tyranny in a free land, or you do not have a free land. It's one or the other. You don't have both. So, that being said, who do we got here? We got Oscar. How you doing, Oscar? And we got Renee. Good to see you, Renee. Got some more stuff here. Zero hedge. Biden to punish good credit homeowners to subsidize high-risk mortgages. A little misleading in that, but I want to read it one more time slowly. Biden, and it's not him, we all know, to punish good credit home buyers. So those are the people that have been working their whole life to get a good credit score so that they can gain when they buy things, especially a home, which is usually our biggest purchase, to subsidize high-risk mortgages. So that means that the people who have good credit are going to be charged, punished, for those who don't have good credit. And you're like, I don't know, that makes no sense. It goes against everything that we've thought about, as far as growing up, building our credit. I'm, in my 50s, and I finally have it good. It's a good level. It's a fair and respectable level. But if I wanted to buy a house right now, I'd be punished for that. And you're like, what do you mean? Why would that be the case? Well, let me continue here. A new rule from the Biden administration, and please, again, this is not the Biden administration, okay? There's no such thing. But anyway, it's from the banks, ladies and gents, the same cartel. A new rule from the Biden administration will force home buyers with good credit scores to pay higher mortgage rates. Yeah, you heard that right. In order to subsidize loans to those with riskier borrowing profiles. The Washington Times reports. So it's a little more nuanced than that, and I'll get into that in a minute. But it continues. Home buyers who make down payments of 15 to 20%, wasn't that pretty much the dogma? Pretty much, Joe, you remember when you go to buy a house and they say, yeah, 15 to 20%, that's really what you want. You're going to get the best rate with that. You're going to, pay it down for a while, and the bank will accept your application if you put that much down. Forget about that, Joe. That's sound investing. We're not in the land of sound investing anymore. So, home buyers who make down payments of 15 to 20% will be hit with the largest fees. So, when you follow the rules, you get hit with the largest fees. Right? When you do things right and you pay people back and you have good credit, you're the one who's going to pay extra. I'm not making this stuff up. I'm really not. Ladies and gents, I don't know if that I could make this stuff up. Okay? Eddie's watching. Good to see you. Comment in here, guys. I can see the comments now. So if anybody wants to comment or argue or discuss, feel free. I've got it right here in front of me. So to turn this out, to follow this up, under the new Biden rules, those with lower credit scores and smaller down payments will qualify for better mortgage rates and discounted fees. thanks to the surcharge on those with good scores. Yeah, that's real. I'm not kidding. I'm not making it up. So May 1st was the date that they gave. May 1st, these rules take effect. So if you put 15 to 20% down, which is legit, that's a pretty good sum, right? Yeah, you're going to have extra fees. You're going to have extra fees. If your credit is over 680, okay, if you've got credit that's better than 680, woe to you, friends and neighbors, because you will be paying higher closing fees than those who have credit ratings 679 and under. Yes. So if you keep your credit rating below 680 and put down less than 15%, bing, you made it. You hit the jackpot. Okay. Again, I'm not making this up, but I do have a translation for you. This came from the Zero Hedge, right? Which is good, but they're still a news aggregator. So the original article was Washington Times. Now, the Washington Times is most definitely better than the Washington Compost. But it still remains that they are a news organization, so they're not going to give you the deep down. They're not going to give you the lowdown and the roots of the issue, which is what I always had against guys like Rush Limbaugh, Mark Levine, and even to a lesser extent, because he does go fairly deep, Dan Bongino. I don't know if you've heard of all these people, certainly Rush. Here's my take on what they do. What Rush did, he was the best, hands down. He would articulate to a T, and he would label these politicians, both Republicans and Democrats, as evil as they are. And he would tell you why. And he would give you an insight, a perspective that you didn't have prior to listening to him, perhaps. But when you were done listening to him, you saw through the smoke and the mirrors that they were trying to present to you. But Rush never went to the root cause. Going to what a politician does or says is never going to the root cause. You have to do what any good investigator has ever done. You follow the money. Okay? And it always ends up to who makes the money. What do I mean by make the money? I mean by pressing buttons to produce currency. In this case, fiat currency, the Federal Reserve note. Who makes the Federal Reserve note? Okay, all those richest in the world, scams, no. Elon Musk is not the richest. Bezos is not the richest. Find out the list of the owners of the Federal Reserve, and you will know the richest people in the world. You cannot literally count the riches because all they got to do is tell one of their lackeys to move their finger and hit the enter button a few million more times, and they're richer. Oh, you're not the okay, boom. Another one, another million, another trillion, whatever they want. So, Sarah's watching. Sarah's on. Thank you. So, the fact of the matter is, the Federal Reserve is behind all of this. Okay? Don't let anyone else fool you. And what are they doing? Well, they've partnered with some despotic companies. One of them is called BlackRock. You may or may not have heard of it. Anyway, BlackRock is this real estate monster that will come in and buy up. They're waging war on the average residential homeowner right now, because what they do is they're scouring the regional banks, the small banks, the big banks, whatever it is, for these distressed properties. And then they sack them up at the lowest price possible. Now, I've told everyone that's willing to listen for a while now that we are going to be in a depression sometime soon. So this is not just me talking, not just this guy on, on Facebook talking, YouTube talking. It's a lot of people that have studied this a lot longer than I have that are basically telling everyone, hey, prepare. Like the ninja, be prepared, not scared. Anyway, when this BlackRock company finds these distressed properties,